Hey guys, what's happening? Coming back at you here again. Let's see, this one here, well, I've been asking myself the question again, truck camper or toy hauler? So I thought I would come back at you again with a couple of more thoughts that I have been having, and also just kind of some feedback here with living in the camper for, I think I'm at like 27 months now, living in this camper full time. There's really only two major dislikes that I have with this truck camper that there's really nothing that I can't do about them. The first one is I wish that the ceiling in here was like 4 inches taller. It has an 80-inch interior ceiling height, and I wish it was like 84. I wish it was taller, and then I wish that I could, I wish the bathroom, the dry bath, was a little bit taller. Basically, my ground clearance, my height from ground all the way to the top of the air conditioning unit is 12 feet. I'm at 12 feet right now. You know, if I could be easily under 13 feet if they were to build a camper that was, you know, they had like an 84-inch interior ceiling height. So there's that one, and then the second one for me is I guess it would be the overall length of the camper. It's in the sleeper, up here in the front, the cap on the front. I wish that was pushed forward. I don't know, I mean 4 or 6 inches, and I wish that was, you know, pushed forward a little bit, because the way it is right now when I'm laying down in the camper and I sit up, you know, my head kind of touches the front of the cap, because the cap kind of has a slant in the front. And I know all truck campers are like that, and every truck camper is built a little bit different. You know, some of them are kind of roomy up front in that area, but in this camper, it's a little bit tight up there. And I'm not really so much, I mean, the bed, yeah, I mean, my feet hang off the bed. I mean, I wish that I could put like a California King in this camper, and that would give me, California Kings are 84 inches long, and that's usually what I slept on when I owned a home, as a California King. But that obviously isn't going to happen. I know there's a couple of truck campers right now. Eagle Cap makes a camper on the market that has a California King bed in it. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, I wish it was pushed that forward a little bit more. But other than that, I'm totally happy with the amount of storage that I have in the camper. I really have a lot of storage in this camper. I mean, there's a lot of capacities. I love the dinette. I love the layout in general of what I have. I really do. It's really a nice. It's really a nice camper, and I'm really happy in that regard. And I really, honestly, I wouldn't change really much else. Maybe some little things here and there. But Northern Light, in my opinion, they did a great job designing this particular model. I know if you go with the dry bath, the layout is completely different, because of the dry bath, it uses more space in the rear to, you know, make that dry shower. And then, so the wet bath model I have, it gives you a larger dinette, you know, seating area. So yeah, that's really kind of my feedback, what I have about the truck camper. But going back to the question, truck camper or toy hauler. So let's move on to talking about toy haulers. On this trip here, it's kind of come to my attention that I'm kind of starting to really lean in the direction of a toy hauler. And I know I've been talking about it, and you guys have been talking about it with me over, I don't know, last year or so, and I did a bunch of videos, you know, talking about changing RVs and stuff. And I think on this trip, it's kind of come to my attention that, you know, the toy hauler, I'd actually really like. I think a toy hauler would really suit my needs. You know, when I come down here to, you know, when I come down here south, I really like the idea of, you know, like when I come down here to Yuma and I spend a couple of months down here. I mean, you could basically go out in the desert and set up a home base, and you could just be out there for a long time. And, you know, with the way I have it now, I don't want to take the truck camper off the truck and do that, just because it's just kind of a hassle, and I really don't want to do that. So, you know, when I go into town, I got to get supplies. You know, I carry this in the back of the truck with me when I go into town. But a toy hauler is starting to become a lot more appealing to me in just in that regard. The truck camper I love when I'm traveling and when I'm on the road. And that's really where I think that truck campers and vans, they really shine. And they're probably the best rigs out there when you're on the road and you're moving and you're traveling. You know, they get the best gas mileage in comparison to other type of rigs and RVs. And you can park them anywhere. This, I can park anywhere easily. I can get fuel at a gas station easily. So these are all the things you have to consider. But when you're traveling and on the road and just doing general boondocking, the truck camper, it works great. It's great. Now when I come down here and I'm going to be kind of static in one place for a while, having a toy hauler would be a much better rig. You know, simple reasons for me. Just you know, you get larger tank holding capacities. I mean, if you're going to be doing this boondocking thing, probably getting a composite a toilet, a composting toilet is really the wise move on that part. You know, because then you can basically eliminate having to dump the black tank. And then as far as gray water goes, you know, if you're out there in the desert, I mean, you can kind of, you know, let that go, let that water, you know, go, you know, dispose of it responsibly, or you can get a blue boy and, you know, haul it, you know, you can take it to a station or something. But, you know, just giving me more capacity and more room. You know, for me, a toy hauler, a fifth wheel is definitely out of the question, because I would need, if I was to get a toy hauler, go that direction, I would need to be able to stand up in the shower. And it's just not going to happen on a fifth wheel. I've looked, done the research, not going to happen. And I'm kind of sold on the bumper pulls anyway right now, just for myself. Bumper pull is great because I've got the bed of the truck to utilize, and so what I could do is I could haul the four-wheeler around in the bed of the truck, and then I don't necessarily have to put it inside the toy hauler. I could if I wanted to, but it would just give me that, you know, flexibility of you know, when I'm on the road traveling and stuff, I could have the full space inside the toy hauler to utilize, instead of having the bikes and stuff in the back and having to take them in and take them out. Another kind of thing to consider, talking more about the truck camper, if I was to go with the enclosed trailer route, the challenge that you have with that is you got a trailer on the back, and this camper has a rear entry, and so you're constantly dealing with that hitch and crawling around it and opening the door. So that's why I really recommend to people that if you want to go the truck camper route and trailer route, to really consider a side entry truck camper like the Lance 1172s or the 92s. Lance has some side entry models. You got to go big camper to get that side entry, but if you're going to pull trailers with a truck camper, and that's the only way to go, because then you don't have to deal with that exiting. The other nice thing, okay, back to toy haulers, the other nice thing is the fuel station. You know, you can get like a 36-gallon fuel cell on that baby. Fill that sucker up in town, and you got fuel to last a long time. You can fuel your generator, you can fuel your ATVs, you know, so that would really come in handy there. You've got a huge, you know, larger tank capacities, larger freshwater tank capacities, larger propane capacities. With a toy hauler, you can solar. You have a lot of real estate on that roof to put panels. Add additional batteries. You could probably run 4 or 6 bank of batteries for solar. So for a home base operation out in the desert, a toy hauler is definitely a better way to go than what I currently have. You know, the disadvantages, in my opinion, with going with the toy hauler, you kind of start getting into that destination type trip or traveling. So all that traveling I did in Northern California and those back roads and those steep grades and stuff, you know, forget that. I wouldn't be pulling a toy hauler on any of those roads. So you start getting into this destination travel. What do I mean by destination? I mean, you're driving on the main freeways, and you know, your mobility is definitely lessened. You're going to kind of get into more of a home base. You're going to go here and you're going to go there, and you're just going to set up camp and you're going to stay there for a while. So you kind of start moving into more of that mode, and you lose a lot of mobility. You know, going into parking lots, and you've got, you know, that trailer and the truck, so you're going to be probably pushing 60 feet in total length versus with a truck camper and an enclosed trailer, you could be at, I don't know, you could be at like 40, 45 feet long. So the truck camper and enclosed trailer, you get a lot shorter length, which definitely helps in your mobility and getting around. So I think that, I think I'm starting to kind of come around to, possibly a toy hauler in my future. I've been giving it a lot more serious thought here. Haven't made any decisions yet, but it's just kind of, these are just a few things that on my second year as being a snowbird, these are some things that I have learned for myself. And so I just thought that I would share that out to you guys, and you can use the information for your own good.